chapter 5 is full of what is that? Lines of approach and action. If you are looking for action, you can look here. So this is the place where to find solutions for the global problems. So first Pope is discussing, the longest discussion in this chapter is 164 to 175. Dialogue on the environment in the international community. You see the word dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. Political also dialogue, the last also dialogue. See, only through dialogue we can solve the problems. So that is the notion we get. And also transparency. Dialogue and transparency. Yeah. In dialogue, all the 8 billion people should be involved. That is the sine qua non condition. It's an essential condition. Yeah. So you can't avoid anybody. So we are becoming as one community at large. It is a kind of power we gain in this approach. So everybody has an opinion, you put together with the other opinions and you find the resource, huge resource, potential to tackle the ecological crisis that we are facing right now. So the first one is dialogue on the environment in the international community. All the 200 plus 20 countries should dialogue with each other. That is what United Nations conventions are all about. 1992, that was the first convention ever to appear. That is the first time, 92, we begin to come together, all the 220 nations. So we have to act. We have to act now. Yes, that is the message they gave. That is the time one of the profound word was invented. You all know about it. That is sustainable development. You must have come across. Everybody has come across that word. Today all the leaders, Narendra Modi including, they talk only sustainable development. So it has become a mantra. So it is everybody reciting every day many times sustainable development, sustainable development, sustainable development in all walks of life. In the economy, it is used extensively. In society, it is used extensively. Also in other science and technology, sustainable technology, it is known as everything, sustainable energy, sustainable agriculture, sustainable food production, sustainable consumption, all walks of life, that word has creeped inside. Where does it come from? I'll send you. Last week, I gave an interview to the Vatican radio. So I talked about this sustainable development. I'll forward it to you. One brother, you give me a number. You form a group among ourselves. And you give me the number. I'll send you the links. All right? One brother, make a group and then you give me the number. All right. That comes directly. I already gave you from the first chapter 3 laws. 126, 128 and 129. You got it? So all the 3 I gave. Now chapter 2. 2:15. God created first humans and He brought them in front of Him and He told, till it and keep it. Yes. Uludu paramari. Till it and keep it. Okay? That is sustainable development. Can you imagine? Biblical notion, that is, God taught humans. Till it means you take whatever you need. Keep it means keep it intact in working condition, resources in working condition for the future generations. So, in other words, sustainable development. You use it at the same time, keep it in reserve for the generations to come. So, this is what God gave. I think we have forgotten that. We tilled too much and we kept too little. So, that is what we did. So, we ended up in a big collapse, disaster. All that we face today as global warming and climate change is the result of not practicing that 215. So that is the outcome. We are in a big mess. Thank God, 1992 itself, already the biblical words have been discussed. They didn't know that biblical words, nobody knows. Just I'm thinking, I'm trying to find my own theology here. So that is the biblical words come to pass in our times. 220 countries are reading only 215. Yes. Whether it is Islam or Hindu or communist or Democrats, everybody reads 215. And all the leaders are talking Bible today. It's a big shift. At last, God's will is being practiced. People want to understand that and practice for the future generations. At last, 2000, God created and gave that law so many years ago, but now people listen to it. Yes. This is the miraculous time. This is a wonderful time where all the political leaders are listening to God's way. This is a good time, in fact. The change will come swiftly. The change will be very positive because everybody is coming to God's mindset. Yes, at last, we have found God. So, the dialogue on the environment in the international community started 1992. Then 1997, Kyoto, Japan. Again, they deepened the meaning of sustainable development. Again, every 5 years, United Nations calling for international gathering of 220 nations. Every 5 years it happens, every 4 or 5 years. Then happened Copenhagen, 2009 in Denmark. Again, sustainable development. And then came Durban, 2011. Within 2 years, they had in South Africa, because it was a critical moment in history. So that's why they had more meetings. Sustainable development. Then happened 2015 when Pope Francis wrote Laudato Si. He knew 2015 is going to be an important year that is called Paris Accord. United Nations Convention on Climate Change, Paris, that is 2015. This is the document, help them to formulate and deepen sustainable development. That is the time they saw Bible 2:15. Pope is writing 2:15. So paragraph number again 67, Laudato Si, will give you the explanation. What is the meaning we are looking in paragraph number 67, explanation of till and keeping. So Paris Accord was somewhat positive, changes came out. Now last year, 2021, is Glasgow, Scotland. So that is the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, discussing about sustainable technology, sustainable energy, sustainable agriculture, sustainable development. So again, Bible discussion. So all these United Nations is focusing on biblical 2:15. Huge shift. Again, the minor conventions also happened. Montreal Convention, Stockholm, Sweden Convention, Vienna Convention, Basel Convention. There are 10 of them. Minor United Nations conventions also happened. They also discuss about sustainable forestry, sustainable atmosphere, sustainable mountains, all sustainable. Genesis 2:15. So they have come to a spiritual way of looking at things. That's what it happens. It's a big shift, the birth of new consciousness. We encompass everything into the love of God. So we show love to nature, to the non-living and the living. At last we found the truth. So we are becoming emphatic. There is no doubt. The humanity, even politics are becoming emphatic. Yes, it's a great moment in the history of humanity. We should be feeling proud about it. So I will show you some paragraphs. In the dialogue on the environment in the international community, Pope is asking first, the members is asking, please stop fossil fuel burning. That is the first suggestion he is giving. Because coal is destroying our life as we know it. It's going to destroy further. There will be no future. So stop coal burning technologies. He calls it energy transition. That is the word he uses. International community should go for energy transition from fossil fuel burning to natural energy production like solar energy. You see the solar panels there? That kind of extracting energy from the nature, wind energy, geothermal, biomass burning, biofuel, all these green technologies, that is the name they use to describe non-polluting energy. Even atomic energy is green. Even atomic energy, Kudangulam, is a safest and clean production energy. Because people are afraid of atomic energy because of old technology of Russia. Because the uranium enriched rods, when you send it into the nuclear reactor, that technology burns only 85% of the plutonium resource. 15% the technology doesn't allow completely to burn. That's why storage becomes a problem. You have to store very carefully, otherwise big disaster. It's known as a nuclear fallout. So it's dangerous. But now it's a French technology. Kudangulam uses French technology which burns the uranium enriched rods to zero. There is nothing is there. Everything is burnt. So there is no problem of storing at all. These things our people, they don't understand. Some selfish fellows, they go and instigate people. They want some fame and they want to see like a martyrs. NGO groups, they go and fight for it without any basic knowledge of nuclear energy. But today the cleanest energy you can get from nuclear energy. This amount is enough to produce electricity for Chennai and Tamil Nadu, only this much. The whole Tamil Nadu can live on this amount of fuel, uranium. This uranium can power for 100 years energy for everybody, only this size. Wind energy go to millions of hectares and it is dangerous for the birds and wild animals, flies, etc. Solar energy also you can't produce, they are not efficient, not reliable, because when there is a cloudy days, no energy. So it is not reliable. And also you need enormous amount of panels, expensive. So you can't produce to run a big machines. You can run fans, but air conditioner you can't run it. Pump you can't run it with solar energy. So technology is not available. Geothermal we can do it, but geothermal is not available here. Volcanoes we need. So we have to go much deeper to tap the lava extract. So in Iceland, Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, Finland, they are sitting on a volcano. So they can put the pipe there. Very easy. You bring the steam, the pipe, and you make the turbine engines to roll. They produce the electricity. That's all. There is nothing is there. Only byproduct is clean water to drink. The steam comes, it runs the machines, you get electricity, and the waste is pure water. So you drink that water. That's all. It goes on as long as volcano is alive. And nobody pays anything. Only the infrastructure. First you establish machines. Then energy is free for life. So today, most of the Europe is powered by geothermal energy from the volcano, steam, big pipes, steam, the hot steam runs straight through the pipe. Big turbines, this size turbines, they roll, they produce hundreds and thousands of kilowatts of electricity they produce. Unfortunately, today there is no technology to store electricity. That is the biggest problem. Even we produce a lot of energy in Kanyakumari district near Tuticorin. They produce enormous amount of wind energy. Unfortunately, we can't store them. They produce more energy, so they shut down all of them. Half of them will be shut down because they produce more that electricity board can handle. Like our grid can't supply all production because too much, its incoming is too much. So if there is a technology, if somebody finds you can store electricity, then it is a different game. But today there is no storage facility for electricity. So only geothermal doesn't cost anything. There is no risk involved. You just use the nature to produce energy, huge amount of energy. I think in the future, geothermal energy everywhere, even in India, we need to go to Himalayas to tap because volcanoes are available in Himalayas. Under the mountain, if you drill, you can tap, or you can go to ocean. The ocean only 2 kilometers you go, volcanoes you get. So you can use that energy. But here 4 kilometers we have to go on the land. It's a deep, lot of expenditure, no technology available, 4 kilometers. So if you tap one volcano is enough, it can power the whole India, all energy, green. So the new generation has to find ways and means to fulfill the Francis's dream of energy transition. So he is really writing profoundly. I will read the paragraphs in a while. So that is the main thing he discusses. And then agriculture. Pope is very much interested in sustainable agriculture. He calls it diversified and sustainable agriculture. Diversified means polycropping. I mean, Manavari in Tamil we call it. Our ancestors were doing that kind of cropping. But today, you destroyed everything and then making only sugar cane, only palm oil, only this vegetable. So it was polycropping, but now monocropping, only one crop. That is why a lot of animal life has been driven out of extinction. So this is the things happening. So diversified and sustainable agriculture. Today our agriculture is not sustainable. Fertilizers, genetically modified seeds and food making, all are chemicals. That's what we are eating. So Pope Francis is calling for much traditional way of farming. We can produce little just for consumption, not for business. That is how our traditional farming was in India. It was produced only for eating purpose and sharing purpose. In 1960s, the Green Revolution came and they increased the produce. That is the time we wanted to make money out of soil. We prostituted soil for money, for gain. So we are சொந்த அம்மாவையே ப்ராஸ்டியூஷன் பண்ணி நம்ம வாழ்க்கை நடத்துகிறோம். We are living on prostitution money because we put our mother into prostitution, our sister also to prostitution. It's a mother earth. So you are doing all atrocities against mother and sister. திருவள்ளுவர் says also, wife he says, அதாவது நிலமெனும் நல்லாள் மனைவியாகவும் இருக்கிறாள் என்று சொல்லுகிறார். Saint Francis he calls mother and sister. திருவள்ளுவர் says also wife. So this we are using those three persons to work for prostitution, and then they are getting money. Today jewels they want to buy by sending our land for prostitution. They want to buy the cars, putting their own sister into prostitution. They want to build houses, putting their own wife into prostitution. So that is what we are doing today. இதெல்லாம் ஒரு குழப்பா அன்ட்டு கேட்க தோணும். இதெல்லாம் ஒரு குழப்பா. This is what we are doing. So agriculture needs, we have to come to traditional farming. We should understand, just till it and keep it. That's it. No business here. Till it and keep it. So that is where Pope is discussing international problems and recycling waste. And he is telling all the United Nations conventions are useless. They are good for nothing. Only Rio is good, and that minor conventions are very good. The rest of them, they didn't do anything good at all. That's what he rejects all of them. So he doesn't find they are truthful and honest. They are just cheating. International leaders are cheating. Second is dialogue for new national and local policies. This is the place where you look for local in India, what can we do? And then in your own Chengalpet diocese, what you can do. All right? In your village, what you can do. So this is very practical, that one. Only 176 to 181. He gives you everything. Whatever you imagine, if you want to act, here you look. And then from there you can expand. You can apply the same principles to our own context. Our problems may be different, but the solutions provided here is the same. The same formula we can apply to our local problems, and then we can find relief. We can find solution. So here you see also Pope is telling that, EIA, environmental impact assessment. 2 years ago there was a big confusion going on in India. One is farm bills, another one is EIA, the environmental impact assessment bill. Because a lot of people, they protested, now they didn't make a law. Farm bill also protects going on, but still they made the law. So here the environmental impact assessment means we have to, the local people, those who live in an environment, they are the ultimate deciding authority. If they bring a factory, authorities should ask the local people, gather them, we are going to put a factory here, we are going to put a small roads here, we are going to put build some monument here. We have to discuss. And then you have to assess the impact. What impact it's going to have in the environment. That is called environment impact assessment. Should be made. All of you should be aware of that. When you are working in a parish, you should lead the people to achieve these goals, and you should join hands with the NGO groups. They are good. You can trust them. they will support EIA. NGO groups, they are ready to help us. So we have to tap that resource. And then you have to combine with the society. Don't go and fight alone. Pope is telling, I'm doing it. No, that is not the way. You should go in a disguise. You should go as a group, as human family, not as Christians. We should never go as Christians. We should go as people. Okay? Strip all the religious labels. Also, national labels. We are not Indians. We are human people. That's all. Only one species. No nation, no religion. You just go and fight for the human, the whole cosmos. For the common home, we are fighting. Understand now? The third is dialogue and transparency in decision making. This is lacking even in our religious houses. Everything is secret. Our only council members, they know the budget. Only they know everything. The poor members, they don't know anything. Yeah. The diocese, only bishop, it's a top secret. Top secret. Yeah. Only bishop and councillors. We should dialogue with every member in the diocesan community. We are part of it. Bishop should be talking openly, transparent. He should tell, this is the budget. This is what we are using. How much income is coming. How much we are spending. And how much cost for medical bills. Everything he should confess. Everybody should know everything. There is nothing you can hide. Nothing you can hide. Discuss openly. So that is what Pope is telling. Because that is also integral. Everything is integral ecology. So you are integrate everybody. Alright? You integrate everybody. Everybody has a resource. So you integrate. So far we have been fragmenting. Alright? Counselors, priests. See the integral ecology, 4th chapter is giving that framework. Also here, you need to employ integral ecology here also. Don't sideline, they are counselors, he is the VG, he is a bishop. No. Integral ecology, we all together, everybody should know. Yeah. And also, most of the problems, like women problem, like women is neglected in the sense of secondary beings. Men are higher than women. Women are fighting for their own rights, equality. And also in our Tamil Nadu Dalit people, they fight for their own rights, and we fight for reservation, etc. All the caste people. Actually, we have to understand in integral ecology, in business usual model, we leave them alone. Okay, Dalit people, let them fight for their own causes. Women, let them fight for their own. Other caste, let them find reservation. But in integral ecology model, we all are together fighting to alleviate the problem. We see as a human problem. In integral ecology model, we see as a human problem. In business as usual model, we see as a Dalit problem, women problem. We fragment. We see as an Indian problem. We see as a Middle Eastern problem. We see as a Russian problem, Putin problem, Ukraine problem. But now, in integral ecology, we see as a human problem. So, Putin and Ukraine, all the 8 billion people should go there and sit there. And until the war stops, they are eating and drinking. Yes. That is how we should solve. So, Dalit problem is also a human problem. All the 8 billion people should join together in order to alleviate the Dalit problem, throw it out and make everything equal. And women problem, equality, all the 8 billion people fight for that equality. So everywhere, this is how integral ecology tries to solve the problems. We become one. Any problem, we become one. That's all. We should see as a human. Above all, we should see as one community at large. Not only humans. Community means we belong to other creatures also. Okay? This is the population of humans. That is community of all creatures. When I say community, it's a larger, which includes non-living and living. When you say population, only human. Alright? That's a big difference. The human, I was using only community. That means the abiotic and the biotic, non-living and living community. So, that is integral ecology, community building. Alright? It is not business as usual, population. Women population, Dalit population, Indian population, Russian population, like that. That's a fragmented. Then comes politics and economy in dialogue for human fulfillment. First time, Pope Francis is writing, political love. You will read a paragraph there. Political love. I've never heard politics as love. But here he uses political love. You know what? So far, all the interviews, if you ask our chief minister or any minister why we failed during your administration, why we failed, then immediately politicians will say because of economy. Because economy made a mistake. பொருளாதாரம் அந்த மினிஸ்டரை போய் கேளுங்க, எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. We don't know. Go and ask பொருளாதாரம். If you ask பொருளாதார minister, he will say go and ask chief minister. Okay? Go and ask politics, in other words. These two blame each other in a business as usual model. In integral ecology model, both of them sit directly and you talk. You engage. Now you talk. You told me that I made a mistake. What kind of mistake I made? You tell me. And he says, you told me I made a mistake. What kind of mistake you made? I'll tell you. So, transparency, dialogue. So for the human fulfillment, see there, for the betterment of our population and also the community at large, they are making sacrifices and understanding and trying to understand and keep the situation in control and then take responsibility, faithfulness, accountability, all those things kick in there, and now we find solutions. So economy and political administrations on one page, not on a different page. Same page, same table. So you find solutions immediately. So that is integral ecology again coming here for the politics and economy. And then comes last, religions, dialogue with science. Now religious has come. Our own Christian church was very negative to religion, to science. Almost 500 years now, starting from Galilei, from that time onwards, church, nothing to do with science. They were very, very inimical towards science. They kept science far away. They built a big wall around church. And then let science won't come near. Nothing to do with science. 500 years. So religion was telling science is wrong. Science was pointing out religion is zero. Nothing they do, only metaphysics. 4 plus 2 to 7 they say. Science is about consistency. Science is about permanency. It's about reality. You can see 2 plus 2 is 4. There is no 7 there. You can verify it. It's subject to verification. So it is consistent for the past so many years. So both were blaming each other. Now, for cosmos, you both of you sit down now. Talk. Why we hate each other? Why we disagree? And find common ground. Come to consensus. Here, coming to consensus is very important. Dialogue and transparency should lead to consensus, to agreement. So on which people can act. Only on agreement we can act. Otherwise we can't act. Consensus is necessary. Otherwise there is no action. So at last we arrive agreement and consensus. So we are ready for action. So very beautifully Pope is developing one by one. You find answers here for everything. First you take it and read this one. Whenever you need to find some solutions, this is the section where you have to look for.